Have you ever dropped something and watched it hit the floor before your hand even moved and thought, huh, that used to be faster? Now, what if I told you those little moments aren't random? They're clues. And here's the hopeful part. They are not the end of your story. They're early signals, and signals mean you still have time. I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here to shout at you like some loud fitness coach. I'm an old man. I talk slow. I've lived long enough to see what happens when people ignore the quiet warnings. And I've seen what happens when they pay attention early. There's a big difference between aging and falling apart. Most folks think once you hit 70, things just go downhill and that's that. But that's not the truth. The truth is more interesting than that. Your body doesn't ask permission when you turn 70. It just starts adjusting the settings. Not in one big crash, not overnight. Little changes, quiet ones. And there are a handful of them that almost everybody goes through. The difference isn't whether they happen. The difference is whether you notice in time to respond. Frank came to see me at 73. Big guy, used to hike, played in the yard with his grandkids. 3 years earlier, he felt unstoppable. He sat across from me and said something that still echoes in my head. I wish somebody had told me this was coming. That's why I'm talking to you like this, not to frighten you, but so you don't say that sentence later. Because here's what most people don't realize. The body doesn't suddenly break at 70. It slowly shifts. And if you shift with it, you stay ahead of it. The first shift is balance. Now you might think balance is about strong legs. It's not. It starts in your inner ear. Tiny fluid-filled canals inside your head tell your brain which way is up. When you're younger, that system is sharp, quick, accurate. After 70, it gets quieter. The fluid thickens, the sensors dull, the messages get fuzzy. You won't notice while walking across the room. You'll think you're fine. But stand still, close your eyes. Suddenly, you sway a little. That sway's not weakness. It's your balance system asking for practice. And here's the optimistic part. Balance can be trained, even now. Especially now.
I had a woman named Margaret who felt like she was standing on a boat every time she got up from a chair. She thought something was terribly wrong. Nothing dramatic was wrong. Her balance system was just out of practice. We started simple, standing on one foot while brushing her teeth. 10 seconds, then 15, then 30. 6 weeks later, she said, I feel steady again. Not younger, just steadier. That's the theme here. Not reversing time, rebuilding stability. The second shift is reaction time. This one humbles people. When you were 30, if a glass tipped off the counter, your hand snapped out without thinking. At 70, you see it fall and you watch it shatter. It's not that you stopped caring, it's that nerve signals travel slower with age. The insulation around them thins. Messages take longer to reach your muscles. James learned that the hard way. A kid ran into the street chasing a ball. He saw him. His brain said, "Break." His foot moved just a second too late. 1 second. That's the difference between a scare and something worse. He was shaken, thought he was losing his mind. He wasn't. His nervous system was simply aging.
But here's the hopeful truth again. Speed can be shortened. Not back to 25, but enough to matter. We started simple hand-eye drills, tossing a ball, reaction apps on his phone. Nothing fancy, just consistent. A few months later, he caught a falling mug before it hit the floor. He laughed like a kid. Those small improvements change real-life outcomes. Now the third shift, and this one sneaks up quietly. Muscle. After 50, you lose a little each year. After 70, you lose it faster if you don't challenge it. It's not dramatic at first. It shows up as struggling with a jar lid, pushing off your knees to stand, avoiding stairs because they feel annoying. Maria called her daughter over to open a jar. She felt embarrassed, thought she was just tired. She wasn't tired. She was underusing her muscles. Muscle doesn't disappear because you're old. It disappears because it's not being asked to stay. We added 15 minutes of resistance bands each morning, arms, legs, core. 3 months later, she told me she opened that same jar without thinking. Then she almost cried. That wasn't about strength. That was about identity. Here's the quiet secret most people don't hear enough. The body still responds at 70. It still adapts. It still rebuilds. But only if you give it a reason. And I'm telling you all this because the next shifts, bones, body awareness, confidence, they matter just as much. But none of this is meant to make you anxious. It's meant to wake you up gently. Because aging isn't the enemy, neglect is. And if you are listening to me right now, that means you still care. That means you still have time. That means you can move with these changes instead of being blindsided by them. In the next part, I'm going to talk about something most people have never heard of, and it's one of the biggest reasons older adults trip over absolutely nothing. When I explain it, you're going to say, "That's me." And when you recognize it early, you get to stay ahead of it.
Now, let me tell you about the thing almost nobody talks about, and yet it's one of the biggest reasons people our age end up on the floor. It's called body awareness. Most folks never even hear the word for it, but you use it every second of your life. It's how you can close your eyes and still touch your nose. It's how you know where your foot is without staring at it. When you're younger, your brain has a sharp, clean map of your body. Every step is measured perfectly. Every stair is judged just right. After 70, that map starts to blur. Not your eyesight, not your strength, the map. You think you're lifting your foot high enough to clear the step. You're not. You think you stepped wide enough to avoid the rug. You didn't. And that's why people say, "I tripped over nothing." It wasn't nothing. It was a miscalculation. I knew a man named Robert, 76, solid guy, no cane, no walker, but he kept stumbling over his own feet. Nothing in front of him, just misjudged steps. He thought he was clumsy. He wasn't. His brain's internal GPS needed recalibrating. We worked on simple drills, heel-to-toe walking across his bedroom, standing on one leg, reaching for light switches with his eyes closed. 6 weeks later, he told me, "I feel planted again." That's the word, planted. You don't need to feel young, you just need to feel planted. Now here's something else that surprises people. Fear. You'd think fear would protect you, make you careful. Sometimes it does the opposite. After one fall, even a small one, people tighten up. They take tiny steps. They grip furniture. They move like they're already falling. And that stiffness makes them unstable. I saw it with Helen.
She slipped once in her kitchen, just a bruise, but after that she shuffled everywhere like the floor was ice. Her body got rigid, and rigid bodies don't adjust well. When you're relaxed, your body makes micro corrections automatically. When you're tense, you move like a statue, and statues tip over. We worked on confidence slowly, walking normally while I stayed close, practicing on slightly uneven ground, teaching her body it could still trust itself. After a few weeks, she said something simple: "I forgot to be afraid." That's powerful. Confidence isn't just in your head. It changes how your muscles fire, how your feet land, how your spine aligns.
Now, let's pull this together in plain English. After 70, your balance system gets quieter. Your reaction speed slows. Your muscles shrink if you don't use them. Your bones thin silently. Your body awareness blurs, and fear can make all of it worse. That sounds heavy, I know. But here's the part I need you to really hear. Every single one of those can be improved. Not perfectly reversed, not magically erased, improved. 5 minutes of balance practice, 15 minutes of strength work, simple reaction drills, a little impact movement for bone, and steady confidence practice. That's not a 2-hour gym session. That's not becoming an athlete. That's maintenance of independence. 3,000 older adults die from falls each year in this country. Many more lose their independence in a single afternoon. But statistics don't decide your future. Habits do. Frank came back to see me 6 months after our first talk. When he walked in, he didn't push off the armrest to stand. He didn't hesitate when he turned. He looked at me and said, "I feel like myself again." Not 25, just himself. That's the goal, not chasing youth, protecting your next 30 years. Your legs were built to carry you longer than you think. Your brain can still learn. Your muscles can still grow. Your bones can still respond. But here's the honest question. Are you going to move with your body as it changes, or wait until it forces you to? You don't need to overhaul your life tomorrow. Just start. Tonight, stand on one foot while brushing your teeth. Tomorrow, walk heel to toe across your room. Pick up something slightly heavier than usual. Small actions, big protection. And if nobody's told you this lately, 70 is not the end of strength. It's the age where strength has to become intentional. And if you're still listening to me right now, that tells me something. You're not done yet.